We start with some breaking news on this Tuesday afternoon. Governor Doug Burgum has appointed former U.S. Attorney and Lieutenant Governor Drew Wrigley to serve out the remainder of Attorney General Wayne Stenjum's term. Stenjum passed away suddenly on January 28th. Wrigley plans to take the oath of office tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the state capitol. Wrigley served as North Dakota's U.S. Attorney from 2001 to 2009, having been appointed by President George W. Bush, and again from 2019 to 2021 after being appointed by President Trump. Wrigley served as Lieutenant Governor for 6 years under former Governor Jack Dalrymple. More breaking news for you. A van carrying 5 children struck a pickup at a busy intersection near Liberty Middle School. That happened about an hour ago along 36th Avenue and Veterans Boulevard. Police tell us the driver and the kids suffered minor injuries. We're told the lone occupant of a pickup was heading north and turned in front of the van. The driver of the pickup was not hurt. No word on whether anyone was cited. The melt is on after a beautiful day in the valley, but those slushy, wet roads could turn slick by the evening commute. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson for a first look at the forecast. Hutch?
Stacey, thanks so much. Yes, we are going to see some changes after a very marvelous day temperature-wise. We had clouds. We did have some rain showers making their way through as well. We'll talk about all that. Here's a look at the Grand Forks area in the home of economy camera. You can see the wet streets out there that have developed with our warmer temperatures, and not only the streets suffering from this, but good old Frosty having troubles and struggles. Nancy, thanks for sharing your fun photo. Here's a look at high temperatures today, and we saw near 40 degrees in the Fargo-Moorhead area. It was 41 today. Again, in the Jamestown area, 39 Fergus Falls, and those 30s and even 40s spread all the way out into the trees. And there's a red dot here we'll talk about briefly in a second. That radar shows a batch of precipitation moving out of Winnipeg, heading toward Highway 11 right now. Otherwise, mixed precipitation, hit and miss variety from Lakes Country, Fergus Falls north in toward that Becker County area, all the way up to the international border. A few rain showers happening. Now our streets are wet. We still have melting snow, and temperatures have been rising as we've gone through the afternoon. Here's that red spot we saw there. It says at noon, I don't know if you noticed, it was 88. No, this was likely an error, but it was warm and it felt nice. Now our temperatures will slowly descend tonight. Northwest winds getting gusty. We approach freezing by the time we get to the early overnight hours. That is when we're going to start seeing the icy roads develop, and the snow continues into the night as well. I'll have hour-by-hour details on all of that, and a more wintry Wednesday for travelers coming up here in a minute.
I'm ready to see some 88s. How about you?
I was going to rush up to Crookston, but I just didn't believe that.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
The memorial service for fallen police officer Jason Mosier will take place Friday. The Fargo Police Department will be holding the 6-year memorial service in honor of Mosier, who died in the line of duty on February 11th, 2016. The ceremony will be held at 9 a.m. outside the police department. Police Chief David Zabolski and Chaplain Jonas Bundy will speak during the ceremony. Members of the public are invited to attend. West Fargo police officer Tim Brown is back on duty. Brown suffered a heart attack while on duty this past Halloween. He was flown out of state for specialized care, and he returned home in mid-November. A short time ago, the West Fargo Police Department posted on social media that his journey has been nothing short of miraculous, and they're happy to have him back in uniform.
I just wanted to thank the community for all the support they gave, sending the cards and really showing my family that the community support for the police is still there.
Up in Grand Forks, police need your help finding a man last seen leaving a club. Police say 26-year-old Anthony Valdez was last seen walking away from the Level 10 club on Sunday. Officials say he was wearing a green winter jacket with a fur hood and a black baseball hat. His picture is there on your screen. If you have any information on where he could be, you're asked to call police. Valley News Live has confirmed that 3 Cass County child protection leaders are stepping down, in essence retiring from their positions. The move involves Linda Dorff, the division's manager for family services, and social worker supervisors Rick Van Camp and Tamara Anderson. Their decisions come after an internal investigation found they created a toxic work environment. They've been on paid administrative leave since December. Last month, economic assistance manager Sydney Schock was placed on paid administrative leave due to a grievance filed against him. West Fargo Assistant City Administrator Tim Solberg has been fired after an internal investigation by the city found that he violated several city policies after being arrested on domestic violence charges. City officials fired Solberg January 27th, 12 days after he was arrested for aggravated assault and preventing arrest. According to the city's internal investigation, Solberg displayed behaviors that violated numerous city employee policies, including unprofessional behavior such as engaging in hostile or intimidating interactions. Three North Dakota investors were swindled out of $178,000 as part of a nationwide precious metals scheme. The North Dakota Securities Department says at least 450 people were hit nationwide. The Securities Department says the investors were convinced to liquidate the investments to put money into precious metals through self-directed retirement accounts. They recommend investors contact the North Dakota Securities Department to check the registration of all investment products and professionals and to ask tough questions about fees, markups, and risks. And like anything else, remember, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. The White House kicked off a day of action to call on all eligible Americans to file their taxes in order to receive the child tax credit, as well as the earned income tax credit for 2021. The monthly benefit has already expired, and now some lawmakers and family groups are demanding its renewal. Skylar Henry has more from Capitol Hill.
We are on a path to cut child poverty in America by 40%.
Vice President Kamala Harris touted the success of the child tax credit and urged eligible Americans to file their income taxes to get the benefit's full amount.
We want you to get those credits. Working families deserve a break.
The child tax credit was a part of last year's American Rescue Plan pandemic relief law, and it included 6 months of payments per child for those under age 17.
The monthly child tax credit checks have made an enormous positive difference in the lives of moms, children, and family across the country.
Kristen Rao-Finkbeiner of the group Moms Rising says families who've used the tax credit to help pay for things like food, rent, and child care are now facing a crisis after it expired last month.
We absolutely need the child tax credit to continue so parents can go to work, so children can thrive, so people can earn living wages and move our country forward, and also address the rising costs.
Tuesday, a group of House and Senate Democrats said they wanted to pass an extension of the child tax credit with a simple majority, using a process called reconciliation. But that would require the support of all 50 Senate Democrats, and West Virginia's Joe Manchin has voiced opposition, saying it should include a work requirement.
My argument with Senator Manchin is give us a chance to let this work. Let's see how it works over the next year. It's worked well over the last 6 months.
The House passed an extension of the tax credit as part of the president's Build Back Better Act, but the bill stalled in the Senate. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The IRS is telling all Americans to file as soon as possible, preferably electronically, so that tax refunds can be received in a timely fashion. The agency also says those who received a child tax credit letter with incorrect information can get the correct information from the irs.gov website before filing. Thousands gathered to march for Amir Locke, who was killed by police in a Minneapolis apartment. Many joining in the protest calling for immediate changes in city leadership. Students across the state of Minnesota walked out of class, many gathering at the governor's residence. Several student groups hosted a press conference to address concerns about the actions by Minnesota police.
Our demands consist of banning all no-knock warrants, full transparency and a full overhaul and demilitarization of Minneapolis Police Department, full review of MPD and SWAT practices, resignation of police chief interim Huffman and Mayor Fry, accountability of Judge Peter Cahill, the same judge for the Chauvin trial that led to the no-knock warrant, termination of Mark Hanneman, the police officer who murdered Amir Locke in a matter of 9 seconds.
Meanwhile, Locke's cousin was arrested yesterday afternoon in Winona on suspicion of second-degree murder. That's who police had been looking for when they served the no-knock warrants in which Amir Locke was killed. The Ambassador Bridge in Detroit has been shut down due to protests by truckers calling themselves the Freedom Convoy. The convoy made its way through Ontario using the Ambassador Bridge as their target. The backup started around 3 p.m. yesterday, and thousands of truckers and travelers were left stranded on Detroit roads overnight. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau accused protesters of trying to challenge Canada's democracy during an emergency debate about COVID restrictions brought about after days of unrest.
It has to stop. The people of Ottawa don't deserve to be harassed in their own neighborhoods. The people of Ottawa, indeed people across the country, deserve to have their safety respected and deserve to get their lives back.
The now weeks-long protests all started with Canada's recent mandate requiring drivers entering Canada to be fully vaccinated or face testing and quarantine requirements. You know all that extra money you've been spending at the grocery store lately? Well, prepare to drop even more. Economists say they think food prices at the grocery will go up 5 to 6% this year. That's after they jumped 6.5% in December from the previous year. The Wall Street Bank says food commodity prices are already up 6% this year, and rising prices for things like fertilizer are going to make things even worse. It's all helped contribute to the highest overall rate of inflation the U.S. has seen in 39 years.